Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Nishit Kumar and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the evening news. The headlines. Nation celebrates 75th Independence Day with patriotic fervour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hoists national flag and addresses nation from the ramparts of the Red Fort. Prime Minister announces 100 lakh crore rupees project Gati Shakti to develop holistic infrastructure and to provide employment opportunity for youth. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas is the mantra to fulfill aspirations of the nation, says the Prime Minister. Prime Minister announces setting up of National Hydrogen Mission with the aim of becoming the new global hub of green hydrogen and also its largest exporter. President Ramnath Kovind confers the Shaurya Chakra award to gallant defence personnel. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh calls upon armed forces to be prepared for any challenge that may come their way. More than 56 crore 76 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses provided to states and union territories so far, says the government. In Afghanistan, media reports say President Ashraf Ghani resigns and leaves the country. And in cricket, the second test between India and England at Lord's headed for a draw. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. The 75th Independence Day is being celebrated with patriotic fervour across the country and around the world today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hoisted the national flag on the 75th Independence Day and addressed the nation from the ramparts of the Red Fort in New Delhi. He also inspected the Guard of Honour. For the first time this year, as soon as the national flag was hoisted by the Prime Minister, 2 Mi-17 1V helicopters of the Indian Air Force showered flower petals. The Prime Minister extended his greetings to people and to all those who love India, love democracy all over the world on the 75th Independence Day. He remembered the freedom fighters who gave their lives for this great nation and paid homage to them. He said, be it the first Prime Minister Nehru or Sardar Patel, who turned the country into a united nation, or Baba Saheb Ambedkar, who showed India the way to the future, the country is remembering all of them.
आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के इस पावन पर्व पर देश अपने सभी स्वतंत्र सेनानियों को राष्ट्र रक्षा में अपने आप को दिन रात खपाने वाले, आहुत करने वाले वीर वीरांगनाओं को आज देश नमन कर रहा है.
The Prime Minister congratulated Tokyo 2020 Olympians who made the nation proud. The Prime Minister said, in the development journey of India, we don't have to limit our celebrations to Amrit Mahotsav, but ensure that we meet our goals when we celebrate 100 years of India's independence. He said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas is important in fulfilling all the aspirations of the nation.
75 वर्ष के अवसर को हमें एक समारोह भर ही सीमित नहीं करना है. हमने नए संकल्पों को आधार बनाना है, नए संकल्पों को लेकर के चल पड़ना है. यहां से शुरू होकर अगले 25 वर्ष की यात्रा, जब हम आजादी के शताब्दी मनाएंगे, नए भारत के सृजन का ये अमृत काल है. इस अमृत काल में हमारे संकल्पों की सिद्धि हमें आजादी के 100 वर्ष तक ले जाएगी, गौरवपूर्ण रूप से ले जाएगी.
The Prime Minister expressed happiness that just within 2 years of Jal Jeevan Mission, over 4.5 crore families have started receiving Nal Se Jal.
देश आज हर घर जल मिशन को लेकर के तेजी से काम कर रहा है. मुझे खुशी है कि जल जीवन मिशन के सिर्फ 2 वर्ष में 4.5 करोड़ से ज्यादा परिवारों को नल से जल मिलना शुरू हो गया, पाइप से वाटर मिलना शुरू हो गया है. करोड़ों माता बहनों का आशीर्वाद, यही हमारी पूंजी है.
The Prime Minister said to take India to newer heights, the government has passed the OBC bill to provide reservation to the backward classes of the country.
अभी हाल ही में मेडिकल शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में ऑल इंडिया कोटे में ओबीसी वर्ग में को आरक्षण की व्यवस्था भी की गई है। संसद में कानून बनाकर ओबीसी से जुड़ी सूची बनाने का अधिकार राज्यों को दे दिया गया है।
The Prime Minister said whether it's the eastern India, northeast, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, including the entire Himalayan region, coastal belt or tribal region, this area will become a big base for India's development in future.
हमारा पूर्वी भारत, नॉर्थ ईस्ट, जम्मू कश्मीर, लद्दाख सहित पूरा हिमालय का क्षेत्र हो, हमारी कोस्टल बेल्ट या फिर आदिवासी अंचल हो, ये भविष्य में भारत के विकास का, भारत की विकास यात्रा का बहुत बड़ा आधार बनने वाले हैं। आज नॉर्थ ईस्ट में कनेक्टिविटी का नया इतिहास लिखा जा रहा है। ये कनेक्टिविटी बिलों की भी है और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की भी है। बहुत जल्द नॉर्थ ईस्ट के सभी राज्यों की राजधानियों को रेल सेवा से जोड़ने का काम पूरा होने वाला है।
The Prime Minister said Ladakh is witnessing a new transformative phase where the government is focusing on building world-class infrastructure. He said that country's farmers now have less land to cultivate and focus should be on helping the small farmers. He said the government is now focusing on welfare of small farmers and 10 crore farmer families have directly received over 1.5 lakh crore rupees in their bank accounts. The Prime Minister said we have pledged to celebrate Amrit Mahotsav till the 15th of August 2023. He said 75 Vande Bharat trains will connect every corner of India in 75 weeks of Amrit Mahotsav of independence. He said India is going to launch Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti National Master Plan.
भारत को आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के साथ ही इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर निर्माण में होलिस्टिक अप्रोच, इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच अपनाने की बहुत जरूरत है। भारत आने वाले कुछ ही समय में प्रधानमंत्री गति शक्ति का नेशनल मास्टर प्लान, उसको देश के सामने करोड़ों देशवासियों को सपना करने वाली एक बहुत बड़ी योजना लेकर के हम आपके सामने आने वाले हैं, उसको लॉन्च करने वाले हैं। 100 लाख करोड़ से भी अधिक की योजना लाखों नौजवानों के लिए रोजगार के नए अवसर लेकर के आने वाली है। गति शक्ति हमारे देश के लिए एक ऐसा नेशनल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मास्टर प्लान होगा जो होलिस्टिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की नींव रखेगा।
The Prime Minister said the startups of yesterday are becoming the unicorns of today. The Prime Minister said under the Jan Aushadhi Yojana, the poor and the needy are now getting affordable medicines. The Prime Minister said India is the only nation that is on the path of meeting its climate goals. He said India is giving equal emphasis to environmental security as to national security. Saying green hydrogen is the future of the world, the Prime Minister announced the setting up of the National Hydrogen Mission with the aim of becoming the new global hub of green hydrogen and also its largest exporter. The Prime Minister said India is not only dealing with terrorism but also expansionism. He said our actions today will determine our future. Our today will set the theme of our 100 years of India's independence.
President Ramnath Kovind today paid tributes to the martyrs at the National War Memorial in New Delhi on the occasion of 75th Independence Day. The President laid wreath at the memorial and paid homage to the martyrs. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, Minister of State for Defence Ajay Bhatt, Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat, Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravane, Navy Chief Admiral Karambir Singh and Air Force Chief Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhaduria and Defence Secretary Ajay Kumar were present on the occasion. President Ramnath Kovind has conferred the Shaurya Chakra on Air Force Officer Wing Commander Varun Singh, who is a pilot in a light combat aircraft LCA squadron, for the act of exceptional gallantry. Air Force Officer Group Captain Parminder Antil, who is the commanding officer of a Su-30 MKI squadron since January of 2020, has also been conferred with the Shaurya Chakra. For the act of exceptional courage, Air Force Officer Squadron Leader Deepak Mohanan and Wing Commander Uttar Kumar have been confirmed with the Vayu Sena Medal Gallantry.
President Ramnath Kovind hosted at-home reception on the 75th Independence Day at Rashtrapati Bhavan this evening. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat, 3 service chiefs and others attended it. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh has called upon the armed forces to be prepared for any challenge that may come their way as the dimensions of security are constantly changing in the evolving environment. He assured the armed forces that the government is ready and will continue to always meet their needs. In his address on All India Radio to armed forces on the eve of Independence Day, he said the situation along the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir remained under control in the last 1 year due to our vigilance and indomitable valor. He said ceasefire violations have also come down since February 2021 and the infiltration from across the border has stopped due to vigilance of the armed forces and paramilitary forces. He said in eastern Ladakh, efforts are being made to resolve the differences on the line of actual control LAC through dialogue with China. He said the process of disengagement has been completed at some places.
Minister of State for Commerce and Industry Anupriya Patel has urged people to take inspiration from the sacrifices made by freedom fighters to make the country self-reliant. In an exclusive interview with All India Radio News, the minister said Commerce and Industry Ministry has planned a series of events to celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. She said 35 export promotion events, commerce festivals, export promotion conclave and a drive to make special economic zones clean and green will be organized. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Nation celebrates 75th Independence Day with patriotic fervor. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hoists national flag and addresses nation from the ramparts of Red Fort. Prime Minister announces 100 lakh crore rupees project Gati Shakti to develop holistic infrastructure and to provide employment opportunity for youth. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas is the mantra to fulfill aspirations of nation, says Prime Minister. Prime Minister announces setting up of National Hydrogen Mission with the aim of becoming new global hub of green hydrogen and also its largest exporter. President Ramnath Kovind confers Shaurya Chakra awards to gallant defence personnel. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh calls upon armed forces to be prepared for any challenge that may come their way. More than 56 crore 76 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses provided to states and union territories so far, says government. In Afghanistan, media reports say President Ashraf Ghani resigns and leaves country. And in cricket, the second test between India and England at Lord's headed for a draw. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the evening news. Tamil Nadu celebrated 75th Independence Day with fervour and pride. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin unfurled the national flag at the ramparts of Fort St. George. In his address, he remembered the contribution of freedom fighters from the state. The state BJP President Annamalai led a team of youth in cycle yatra and planted trees. We have this report.
Flag hoisting ceremonies and various events marked Independence Day celebrations in district headquarters by district collectors. Central government offices all over the state also celebrated the day following COVID restrictions. State BJP also held many events including hoisting flags in 1,100 places and meeting 75 freedom fighters' families in various parts of the state. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
In Andhra Pradesh, Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy unfurled the national flag on the occasion of 75th Independence Day at Indira Gandhi Municipal Corporation Stadium, Vijayawada. 75th Independence Day is being celebrated with gaiety and patriotic fervour across Sikkim today. The state-level program was held at Manan Kendra, Gangtok, where Chief Minister B.S. Tamang unfurled the national flag and received the Guard of Honour. We have this report.
Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Tamang said that eradicating poverty, corruption, illiteracy and superstitions will be a true homage to freedom fighters on this Independence Day. He said that development was unhindered during the pandemic, especially in sectors like health, agriculture and defence. He thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the central government for ramping up health infrastructure rapidly to help the states fight the pandemic. He said that Sikkim became an example for controlling COVID-19 during the first wave of the pandemic, which was appreciated by all He congratulated citizens and health personnel for their role during the pandemic. With Dhaka, Paijit Sharma from Gangtok for AIR.
In West Bengal, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee hoisted the national flag on Red Road in Kolkata. She paid homage to the martyrs of Independence Day by laying wreaths. Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, who hosted the national flag during the Independence Day celebration in Bengaluru today, has announced various programs to mark the ongoing Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations. In Uttar Pradesh, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath hosted the tricolour at the main function held at the state capital, Lucknow. On the occasion, Chief Minister said that we are very fortunate that we are able to see the 75th year of independence, which is being celebrated as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. In Chhattisgarh, Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel hoisted the tricolour at the main function held in capital Raipur. A report from our Raipur correspondent.
Addressing the main function of Independence Day at Raipur, the capital of Chhattisgarh, Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel has made several announcements. Along with the creation of 4 new districts in the state, 18 new tehsils will be formed. Apart from this, a separate garden for women will be developed in all the district headquarters. During the Independence Day celebrations being held in various districts of the state, freedom fighters and their kin are being honored. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur. Ab karenge har ek baar ka samna.
In Madhya Pradesh, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan hoisted the flag at the state-level Independence Day function at Motilal Nehru Stadium, Bhopal. Chief Minister said that despite the crisis of corona epidemic, Madhya Pradesh is moving ahead with sincere efforts for development in every field. 75th Independence Day has been celebrated with gaiety and patriotic spirit in Delhi today. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal hoisted the tricolour in the Secretariat. On this occasion, Mr. Kejriwal saluted the freedom fighters who sacrificed their lives for the freedom of the country. In Port Blair, Lieutenant Governor Admiral D.K. Joshi hoisted the national flag at the Netaji Stadium today. As part of celebrations under Swarnim Vijay Varsh, the victory flame is being taken to various islands of Andaman and Nicobar. The flame was placed at Netaji Stadium in Port Blair. In Rajasthan, the 75th Independence Day is being celebrated in the state with gaiety and patriotic spirit. The state-level Independence Day function was held at Savai Mansingh Stadium in Jaipur. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot hoisted the tricolour and took the salute of the march past. In Himachal Pradesh, the Independence Day was celebrated as Amrit Mahotsav with great enthusiasm, fervour and gaiety throughout the state today. The state-level function was held at the historic Seri Manch in Mandi, where Chief Minister Jairam Thakur hoisted the national flag and took salute from the contingents of State Police, Home Guards, SSB and ITBP. Nagaland joined the rest of the country in celebrating the 75th Independence Day today. A state-level program was held at the new Secretariat Plaza. Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio hoisted the national flag and took the Rashtriya salute from the parade contingents. In Gujarat, Governor Acharya Devvrat unfurled the national flag at Raj Bhavan in Gandhinagar. Our correspondent reports Chief Minister Vijay Rupani unfurled the national flag in Junagadh.
The state-level main function was held at Police Parade Ground in Junagadh this morning. Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has unfurled the national tricolour on this occasion. Gujarat government has organized 2-day-long celebrations in Junagadh district. Apart from launching various development projects and welfare schemes, a series of cultural programs were also organized on this occasion. This Independence Day is also celebrated with the ongoing celebrations of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Government buildings in Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad and other parts of the state have been beautifully decorated to mark the celebrations of 75th Independence Day. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
The Embassy of India in Beijing celebrated the nation's 75th Independence Day with great zeal and enthusiasm. The celebrations were also held at consulates in Guangzhou and Shanghai. Hundreds of Indian community members attended the joyous event. Ambassador Vikram Misri unfurled the national flag, which was followed by singing of the national anthem. The ambassador read President of India's address to the nation on the occasion. Independence Day was celebrated in Bangladesh with the members of the Indian community taking part in it enthusiastically. A report from our special correspondent in Dhaka.
The 75th Independence Day of India was celebrated in Bangladesh at the Indian High Commission in Dhaka. The program was attended by the members of the Indian community, though the number was kept restricted due to the ongoing corona pandemic in the country. At the Chancery Complex in Dhaka, the flag hoisting ceremony was followed by the reading of the President's address by the High Commissioner of India, Vikram Doraiswamy. Patriotic songs were rendered by a group of artists from India and Bangladesh. Each Assistant High Commission organized some special events to mark the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Rajesh Jha, AIR News, Dhaka.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has thanked Prime Minister of Australia, Bhutan, Nepal and Mauritius for their greetings on India's Independence Day. He also thanked the presidents of Sri Lanka and the Maldives for their greetings and good wishes. Responding to Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, Mr. Modi said India cherishes its increasingly vibrant partnership with Australia. While reacting to the wishes of Bhutanese Prime Minister Lothe Tshering, Mr. Modi said all Indians value the unique and trusted ties of friendship the country shares with Bhutan.
The Information and Broadcasting Ministry has curated a series of innovative programs to celebrate the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav under the overall spirit of Jan Bhagidari and Jan Andolan. The objective is to ensure involvement of the people in recalling the spirit of sacrifice and patriotism in the journey towards a new India. Media units under the Information and Broadcasting Ministry have outlined a series of synergistic programs across the country through different modes and mediums. One of the key aspects of such programs is to recall the contribution of the freedom fighters, including the unsung heroes of the freedom struggle. All India Radio will be launching a unique, innovative program, Azadi Ka Safar Akashwani ke Saath, on national as well as regional channels from the 16th of this month.
Azadi Ka Safar every day with All India Radio from Monday the 16th of August. As part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, News Services Division of All India Radio brings to you the story of glorious struggle and sacrifices of freedom fighters on 100.1 FM Gold channel in the English news bulletins at 8:30 a.m., 2 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. Stay tuned.
इस मिट्टी से ही पैदा हुए, इस मिट्टी में दे देंगे जान, तुझसे ही तो जिंदा हूँ मैं ओ मेरे हिंदुस्तान, तुझसे ही तो जिंदा हूँ मैं ओ मेरे हिंदुस्तान। भारत 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 हो भारत मेरी शान, तुझसे ही तो जिंदा हूँ मैं ओ मेरे हिंदुस्तान।
A year-long Amrit Mahotsav quiz is being organized by the News Services Division of All India Radio as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations. Titled Amrit Mahotsav Quiz with AIR News, the quiz starts from Monday, the 16th of August 2021 on 100.1 AIR FM Gold channel. The aim of the quiz is to raise public awareness about India's freedom movement, its glorious history, art and culture, heritage and strides in various walks of life over the past 75 years. Every Monday and Tuesday, one question, each in Hindi and English, will be asked at the beginning of the morning news bulletins at 8 a.m. in Hindi and 8:30 a.m. in English. The same question will be repeated towards the end of 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. news bulletins. Citizens can send their responses to the question over email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. From the correct responses, one lucky participant will be declared the winner of that edition of the quiz. The name of the winner will be announced in the morning bulletins at 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. the very next day and will also be flashed on our Twitter handles at AIR News Alerts. The winner will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize. So join us to celebrate 75 years of India's independence on Amrit Mahotsav Quiz with AIR News. The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring Swadhinata Samaroh 2021, a special roundup of Independence Day celebrations from states and union territories. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
The government today said that more than 56 crore 76 lakh vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. The Union Health Ministry said that more than 3 crore unutilized COVID-19 vaccine doses are still available with states, union territories and private hospitals to be administered. The ministry said over 5 lakh doses are in the pipeline. A delegation of union ministers today met Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu and demanded action against some opposition members for their unprecedented and violent acts in the upper house. Mr. Naidu said that he will examine the matter for deciding on an appropriate course of action.
President Ramnath Kovind has sent his greetings to all fellow citizens on the eve of Parsi New Year. In his message, Mr. Kovind has said the contribution of the Parsi community in social and national life is incomparable, and their way of life, work style and unwavering devotion towards the perseverance of their culture evokes a feeling of appreciation among the countrymen. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has also greeted the people on the eve of Parsi New Year, Navaroz. In Meghalaya, curfew has been imposed in Shillong agglomeration of East Khasi Hills district with effect from 8 p.m. this evening till 5 a.m. of August 17, following a massive surge in violent protest in Shillong against the killing of former Hinevar Tup National Liberation Council General Secretary. And in cricket, the second test between India and England is heading for a draw at Lord's, London. India were 120 for 3 in their second innings on the penultimate day when reports last came in. Earlier, Joe Root's brilliant and beaten 180 helped England to take a crucial lead of 27 runs in their first innings. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur today felicitated the medal winners of Tokyo Olympics 2020. The event was organized in New Delhi by the Indian Olympic Association. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Thakur said that the success in the Tokyo Olympics is a reflection how New India aspires to dominate the world and aims to become the sporting powerhouse. And in Afghanistan, according to media reports, quoting Afghan officials, President Ashraf Ghani has resigned and left the country. It is now confirmed that Taliban insurgents entered Afghanistan's capital, Kabul, today. Meanwhile, official sources confirmed that President Ashraf Ghani has left the city for Tajikistan. Earlier, it was reported that Vice President Amrullah Saleh also fled out of the country. Diplomats from various countries have already evacuated their embassies. An Air India flight carrying 129 passengers from Afghanistan has landed in New Delhi this evening. The flight took off earlier in the day from Kabul. Official sources said Air India has also planned another flight tomorrow to bring back Indians. And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi is likely to have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 26 and 37 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky. Minimum temperature will be 24 and the maximum around 31 degrees. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between 27 and 35 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature will be 28 and the maximum around 33 degrees. Srinagar will experience mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Temperature will hover between 16 and 29 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature will be 25 and the maximum around 33 degrees. Leh is expected to have generally cloudy sky. The minimum and the maximum will be between 11 and 25 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 16 and 34 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will experience mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature will be 20 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 36 degrees. Guwahati will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature will be 26 and the maximum around 33 degrees. Imphal will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. City will observe a minimum of 22 and the maximum of around 30 degrees. Shillong will experience generally cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. Temperature will hover between 18 and 25 degrees Celsius. Aizawl, Kohima, Itanagar, Gangtok, Agartala will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Port Blair is expected to have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Nation celebrates 75th Independence Day with patriotic fervour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hoists national flag and addresses the nation from the ramparts of Red Fort. Prime Minister announces 100 lakh crore rupees project Gati Shakti to develop holistic infrastructure and to provide employment opportunity for youth. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas is the mantra to fulfill aspirations of the nation, says Prime Minister. Prime Minister announces setting up of National Hydrogen Mission with the aim of becoming the new global hub of green hydrogen and also its largest exporter. President Ramnath Kovind conferred Shaurya Chakra Award to gallant defence personnel. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh calls upon armed forces to be prepared for any challenge that may come their way. More than 56 crore 76 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses provided to states and union territories so far, says the government. In Afghanistan, media reports say President Ashraf Ghani resigns and leaves the country. And in cricket, the second test between India and England at Lord's headed for a draw. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.